All right. Welcome to the Final Third Galaxy Podcast, Episode 4, where we high press on the news, tactics of the club we love, the LA Galaxy. Today, we're recapping the Galaxy game against Minnesota, pulling out the biggest takeaways, and diving into what we learned from the post-match presser, including some big-picture talk about the season and the team's future. And then we'll close out things with our end-of-year awards.
Award show.
Award show. Not that it means anything. You don't get anything.
But everybody likes award shows.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's get right into it. Game recap. We played our last game against Minnesota Saturday night. Minnesota comes in, and I think they came in at third place.
Started top 3.
Okay, they're at third place. Due to the loss, they take fourth, and some other things that happened.
Yeah.
Out, obviously, Ricky Puig, Aude was not there. Harbor Miller International duty, I looked that up. I think it was a U19 USA game.
Oh.
They played Belgium, and he started at left back, I believe.
Oh, good for him.
Isaiah Parente, yellow card accumulation. Ruben Ramos also with international duty. Christian Ramirez was questionable. He was there.
Oh, okay.
He didn't play. And Marco Royce, as we've talked about, was done.
Mm-hmm.
So we win.
We did win.
That's 2 in a row. Is that our first? No, that's our second time back.
It's not our first 2 in a row.
Okay. So we won 2 in a row. 12th minute, Nascimento scores a goal.
Yeah.
Good goal.
This is 2 in a row in the goal column for him? 2 games in a row?
Nascimento?
Yeah, because he scored in the Dallas Revenge game.
Did he?
Did he? Hold on.
Possibly.
Wait. Everybody wait.
Everybody wait.
No, he didn't score in the Dallas Revenge game.
I don't think so.
When
He did get an assist, I think. That's what we're looking at.
Right.
Maybe not. I don't know. Nascimento gets a goal. Either way, here's some things about this play. I don't know if you saw this, which was kind of interesting. This goal, the 12th minute, came from 47 seconds of possession.
That's been the Galaxy's MO all year. Possession.
But what hasn't been the Galaxy's MO all year is converting possession into chances. So that's good. 46 seconds of possession, 16 passes. However, the breakthrough comes on a long ball from Yoshida. Direct play, essentially. But we did hold possession for a bit.
Yeah.
Direct play to Cuevas. Cuevas heads it. I think he heads it on to Winder. Winder cuts it back to Nascimento. Nascimento scores. And Winder doesn't get the assist.
Which is really weird. I credit him with the assist.
I don't know how he doesn't get an assist on that, but he didn't. A couple things about this play. In the second minute, Cuevas crosses in looking for Nascimento. It's a very similar play. So it's kind of like it was there for the taking. It just happened to be Winder on the end of it this time. And I think did the announcers talk about this? I thought someone talked about this. I think it might have been the announcers. Nascimiento's done with the Galaxy. His contract's up.
Yes.
So essentially, if he wants to stay, he was playing for a contract.
Well, he was just playing to potentially get another loan. Because that's what...
Or I don't know.
Well, that's...
I mean, we could buy him. I'm sure they'd sell him.
Yeah. Yeah, but so he just scored to leave a good taste in the mouths of Galaxy fans as he goes back to his parent club.
I mean, he scored, I think, 5 goals.
Yeah.
It's not bad. The only thing I have a problem with Nascimento is his injuries, which they're, for a young player, it's kind of concerning. We played quite well in the first half. And then in the 52nd minute, Paintsel gets a goal.
Yeah.
He passes to himself off the post like he's a globetrotter. I thought that was pretty cool by Paintsel.
That was
impressive.
I wonder if he was running and he calls it, he goes, post back to me. It's like a game of horse. Post back to me, I get it, and then I score.
I know. What's funny is there's a couple guys open in the middle. I think Nascimento was one of them, and they're calling for it, and he just hits it off the post, gets it right back, and buries it.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting. Interesting goal. Guess who made that through ball?
Who made that through ball?
Winder. Who, because Paintsel hit a post first, does not get credited with an assist. So Winder basically causes 2 goals, 2 key passes, both which result in goals, and gets no assists.
0.
That's kind of interesting. This was pretty much direct play.
Yeah.
From Mitrovic directly to Winder, who his turn was really good in midfield. He gets it, plays it through a ball. I did notice Cerrillo directing that pass, which is nice to see. It's nice to see someone off the ball directing play, not to themselves.
Well,
I feel like a little bit with the Galaxy this year, it's been a little bit of finger pointing.
Yeah, and you would also expect your central midfielder, the engine, that runs that team, or the brains, running that team to.
It was just nice to see.
Directing
it was nice to see.
Yeah.
And we're up 2-0, but we are the Galaxy, so we give up a goal in the 95th minute off a corner, of course, because set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a straight near post cross into the box from a corner, and it goes in. Now, again, I'll tell you, looking at this, I have this written down. In the 9th minute, Chris, are you aware that they whipped a corner near post over Nelson's head, and they got ahead on the ball and just hit it wide of the goal in the 9th minute?
So
Almost the same play.
it was almost like they were setting this up.
Yes, because in the 39th minute, Chris, they got a corner kick, and they did exactly the same thing. They whipped a ball near post over Nelson's head. This time, I think it was Nascimento playing that second zone, and he heads it out. So it wasn't like this was like, probably should have seen this danger coming a little bit, but nonetheless, that's where it went, and we went 2-1, and the game's over, right? Wrong. Cerrillo has something to say, Chris. Cerrillo decided to get a red card in the 97th minute of the last game of the year when he hip checked somebody for his second yellow, which results in a red. And Cerrillo is out for the season opener next year because red cards do carry over.
Well,
not well. We had a terrible start to the year, and Cerrillo has decided let's
run this
tempt
back.
fate. Let's run this back. Can we start terribly next year? Well, we're at a good start. We haven't played a game. The season's not over. We are done. We're already looking forward to next year, and we already have a negative.
already have a suspension.
We already have a suspension for next year.
Yeah.
Okay, probably not the smartest thing to do from Cerrillo. What takeaways do you have? I have some season stats here and stuff, but what takeaways do you have? Any takeaways from the game in general?
Well, Elijah Winder's looking like he can start commanding some attention.
So we talked about this last week, I think. It's almost like Winder just joined the team.
Yeah.
Where was this guy? You know what's crazy too is you go through a tough season, and Winder is what? The 8, maybe the 6 and double pivot when he played earlier in the year.
Right.
Now it's the end of the year, and it's like, okay, well, let's try some stuff. You try him at like almost like a 10.
10, almost a second forward.
Yeah, and he's pushing that line, and wow, he looks good, man.
Making key passes,
and
scoring.
and making runs too. Like, he's not on the end of things this game, but he's making runs in behind the defense, which was, he looks good. I think Vanny, I don't think we're going to get into this with our post-match presser. It's not one of the things I think we're going to talk about. But Vanny did allude to the fact that it took Winder a little bit of time to get acclimated to the level, the team, the travel, all that, which, I mean, it could be true. And maybe it's not so much of Greg Vanny not playing him. Maybe it's more of Winder becoming more comfortable, and now he's ready and he wasn't before. That could be.
I love how now he's finding his footing and the season's over.
Yeah. Well, we have him. We have him again.
Yeah.
He's coming back.
That's something I'd like to run back. Run this back.
So we'll see. It's going to be a crowded midfield when Puig comes back.
Well, you say it's a crowded midfield. I really think now it's just like, well, find someone to plug that hole when Cerrillo's out for game 1.
Well, Winder has a good chance of playing game 1 thanks to Cerrillo.
Yeah.
Maybe he's friends with Cerrillo. Cerrillo's like, I got you. All right. What other takeaways do you have?
You know
You know what's
sometimes it's better be lucky than good. if you're Joseph Paintsel.
Paintsel played pretty well, though.
Yeah.
I have two more takeaways. One is kind of the Winder thing, because Winder pushing up to that 10 brings Fagundes back to the 6 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Fagundes played pretty well in a position he's probably, I mean, that's not his position. He's not a 6 or an 8.
No.
But he did okay. And then here's my last takeaway. Paintsel and Garces are fast.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know, when you coach and you play other teams, they always say, like, oh, you can't coach speed. It's so true.
It really
like
is.
The pressure, when Paintsel presses too, like the outside back gets the ball and Paintsel's pressing, he gets there so fast. Man, that outside back is just like under pressure.
Yeah.
And Garces closing people down and running that ball down, and Paintsel running in behind. I think in this game especially, you can tell they really caused problems just with their speed.
And that was in the 2024 in the championship year, with how fast Paintsel is. Peck is no slouch himself.
Peck is fast. He's just, he kind of looks slow because Paintsel's on the other side, but he's not, right?
No.
But I mean, Paintsel is so fast.
Yeah.
It is insane.
So now the last takeaway, because we talk about all this stuff, and we talk about the last 3 passes to create goals come off of being a lot more direct rather than
right.
We're going to move methodically through.
Right.
So,
although it did, the possession, I must say, watching the game, the possession, this was one of the only games I've seen recently, even in this like decent stretch of games, where they were possessing, building, and creating chances. There were more chances in this game.
Mm-hmm. I
mean, we gave up a lot of chances too. We could have easily been down 2-1 at halftime because we gave up a couple of chances. I don't even know if I have them written down here, but there was in the 32nd minute, man, there's a deep run through midfield and they play the top of the box and the guy just misses. I don't even know who it was, but he was so open. We gave chances away, but Paintsel had another chance to score. Peck was in a couple times. I mean, we had chances. We were actually moving possession into scoring chances, which is not something you see a lot.
No.
So the question is why? I can only think of 2 things. Clearly they're working on it, right? It's a thing they're talking about. And Winder playing that 10 and pushing a little higher and threatening, getting in behind 2, plus Cuevas being on the field now, more, giving more significant minutes is another threat going forward. And now you have a lot more runs. You're stretching the team a little bit, and you're creating chances. We looked pretty good. We looked like the old Galaxy for one game, actually, because it looked like it could have been like a 5-4 game.
Yeah.
Because we gave up chances, but we scored a couple chances. Okay, let's talk about the goal real quick. Real quick.
Oh, their goal?
Yeah, their goal. Because let me see if I could put this on the screen. Okay. So here's the freeze frame as the corner comes in. Mm-hmm. And this happened on this is the 3rd time, and I stopped. I didn't rewatch like the 50th minute to like the 75th. So there might be one in there too. But this happened 3 times where we're set up like this. The ball comes in. It beats Nelson. And 11 here is the guy that scores. Now you might say like, okay, he's unmarked. Why is he unmarked? Well, I mean, he's unmarked on purpose, right? Because they're doing this zone thing. Mm-hmm. Not everyone's a fan of zonal market on corner kicks, but it has become basically the de facto way to do corner kicks. Yeah. I watched a couple of the games I watched this weekend. Portland, Vancouver, and San Diego, all zone mark. Okay. 2 or 3 guys, all of them, and then man mark. To be clear, Galaxy is running Nelson, Barry, and Yoshida on this goal in zones, in what they consider the most dangerous spots that they got to cover, and then man-to-manning. Minnesota, in this game, defended a corner from Galaxy, and they run a 4 zone. They run a 4-man zone, and then man mark. I watched the Atletico Madrid-Arsenal game, and Atletico Madrid Also, zonal marks a couple guys. So this is kind of common. I think what's not common is Nelson getting beat, because Nelson's job in the zone is literally to not allow, if you look at this frame again, his literal job is to not allow a ball to get served to 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there is a world where the ball is hit so well that Nelson can't do anything about it. That is a possibility. But 3 times that ball gets served in, gets over Nelson, and they score on it. It's a little concerning for me, just because, I mean, again, we've coached, and you know when you coach and you see the same play over, and you're like, man, I mean, we coached together. And we're like, man, Chris, they're gonna burn us on that near post on this next corner. Like, you could see it building and building, and the danger there, and then it happens. But you would think at this level, like, Nelson would be like, guys, I maybe I need to drop a little bit more. Maybe I need to front 11 a little bit more. I got to protect this near post, and I'm not. Or in this clip, Barry is there playing another zone on that near post. He's on the wrong side of the ball. Yoshida's playing a zone, but Yoshida's zone is pretty much like, can win the ball in the middle. Do not let a free header come from the middle. Yeah. So it's not really his fault in this zonal marking situation. But I don't know. I just thought it was interesting, because going forward next year, that Nelson zone spot right here, that near post zone spot, is super important. It is so important. If you're going to zone,
it is.
And every one of these teams, the Portland, Vancouver, San Diego, Minnesota, Atletico Madrid, all the games I watched, they all had a near post zone. And in many of these, it happens several times. Like in San Diego near post zoned, and that guy won the ball like 2-3 times off of corner kicks, cleared it out. Because, I mean, that's a common thing, to whip it into that near post.
Well, a few things looking at it. Maybe after the first time, when it goes over Nelson's head, you go, the captain is one of the zonal guys. Maybe switch a few people around. Maybe let's not have a guy who is not very tall and maybe not the best in the air take that front zone. Number one. Number two, if you're going to keep him there, why not just go, okay, something can sneak in that near side. Let's stick someone on the front post, stay there.
Well, yeah. I mean, the danger is definitely there.
Yeah.
I mean, again, in this zonal marking, that near post zone is usually not a player that's like amazing in the air. It's usually like an outside back, like a quicker guy who can deal with a lot of like low type crosses, headers.
Well, there he is, outside back.
Yeah. I mean, and again, I don't think there's any way Yoshida changes this. I think going into the game, Vanny has these zones set.
Yeah.
That's your spot. You have a role to play. But you can see the danger building throughout the game, and then it comes to fruition.
Yeah.
Which was kind of frustrating to see. Let's see. Season stats. Paintsel, 10 goals, 5 assists. Golden Boot winner. 15 total goal contributions in a bad season. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, if he's scoring 10 goals in one of Galaxy's worst seasons ever, I mean, you think when you have a bad season, you usually have like a 5. Your top score is like 5 a lot of times.
Yeah, you don't have double digits.
Yeah, to me, that's pretty impressive. So he was 0.68 goal contributions per game.
It's tough looking at these stats, especially because you look at how big the fall off was from last year. So
of course, we know why that is.
Yeah,
Peck 6 goals, 9 assists, so 15 goal contributions. Mm-hmm. He's one that could have a couple more goals, but again, 15 total goal contributions, not bad. Royce, 4 goals, 9 assists, 14 total goal contributions, which is crazy because he didn't play the minutes the other 2 played.
That should be 13 goal contributions.
Should it?
Yeah.
Because 9 plus 4 is
13.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fagundes, 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 goal contributions. And then Nascimento, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 goal contributions. So, I mean, not too bad. Royce really outperformed, 0.85 goal contributions per game.
Injuries.
Injuries for sure, yeah. Here's what's interesting, though. In the last 21 matches.
Oh.
Okay, so let's look at the last 21 matches here. Last 21 matches, July to October, right? We play 15 MLS games, 6 League Cup games, and 1 Campeones Cup game, and we go 10-7-4.
That's a pretty good. It's a pretty good record in 21 games.
That's pretty good. I'll tell you this too. In those 21 games, we beat Minnesota, a playoff team. Dallas, a playoff team. Orlando, a playoff team. Pachuca, Mexican powerhouse. Vancouver, playoff team. And we also played in that streak LAFC, a playoff team. Cruz Azul, Mexican powerhouse. Seattle, twice, playoff team. Miami.
Yeah.
And then Cincinnati, playoff team. So this wasn't like, oh, we had an easy run of games and we finished 10-7-4. These were tough teams for the most part. Well, there was a Kansas City in there, which you need to win and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, these were tough games. And we went 10-7-4 over 21 games. We were playoff. If we would have played like that, we'd be in the playoffs.
Yes.
For sure. Easily. But that's really not the story, is it? Because our first 24 matches, we went 2-15-7.
Gosh.
And it doesn't matter who you play, 2-15-7. And like we talked about last week, 0 road wins on the entire season. Mm-hmm. So those are two things that just buried us, right? The start and no road wins.
Yeah, that's the killer too. Because we're like going into World Cup qualifying. Like I'm just bringing this in because you hear it a lot of times during World Cup qualifying. You want to win all your home games and at least draw on the road.
Right.
If you can snag a win on the road, that's even better. Mm-hmm. But you want to at least win at home, draw on the road. Couldn't even draw on the road.
What's interesting? What changed? Okay. What changed? I mean, if we look from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, what changed about the team? There's a couple things, right? Winder playing higher.
Well, just him getting more minutes, period.
Cuevas getting more minutes. Period.
The introduction of Harbor Miller.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know if that really
but
won us anything, but it definitely pushes in training and
well, I'm going to say that because the introduction of Harbor Miller means that the games where there wasn't an out-and-out number 9, when you slide Paintsel into the 9,
right.
Now you still have a pretty good attacking 3.
Okay. Paintsel and Peck both healthy. They didn't start off healthy, but they weren't out for too long. I mean, we can't blame our 2-15-7 start on Paintsel and Peck being hurt because they were not hurt for, what is that,
for
24 games. They were not hurt for 24 games. Nothing else really changed. Mitrovic
became more solid.
Well, he didn't start the season. Most of these, I would say probably 10 to 13 of these first games were McCarthy.
I'll take your word for it. I'd have to go back and look at that, but that sounds about right.
Actually, that's wrong. Mitrovic started the first 2, right? 2 or 3. Got pulled from McCarthy, who got a run of like 10, 11, and then it went back to Mitrovic.
Yeah. And McCarthy's not even with the team anymore.
So I don't know what we can blame that start on. I mean, life without Puig, trying to figure out what we have to do, maybe. But we're a professional team, right? With professional coaches, professional players. And if anyone was surprised that there was going to have to be some changes after Puig, then that's insane. Obviously, you're going to have to figure out life after Puig, but we didn't do it. What about some stats? Let's see. Stats for the game, as you could imagine. Let's see. Let's bring up the stats here. Lo and behold, the Galaxy has 60% possession. Of course they do every game. Minnesota also has about 40% possession every game. So they're a counter-attacking type team. Mm-hmm. Total passes, we had 200 more passes. We had better passing accuracy, more corners, more crosses.
That seems to be the theme over the entire year.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's expected goals 1.8 to 1, so we were supposed to win according to the stats as well, and we did.
Yeah.
Of course, but that's Galaxy, right? That is a Vanny ball.
I was
Possession.
about to say, do we call that Vanny
possession.
ball?
We call that Vanny ball for sure. Which leads us into like kind of the post-match presser, because I thought they talked to Vanny and Yoshida and Nelson. Nelson? No. Vanny, Yoshida, and somebody else. We're only going to talk about Vanny Yoshida. That's all that matters. And speaking of Vanny ball, he gets into Vanny ball a little bit, so it's kind of interesting. We'll get there in a second. But I do find interesting is that the Galaxy served two 2-minute penalties in this game. So a 2-minute penalty happens when you essentially fake an injury, or the referee deems that whatever injury you are pretending to have is not serious and you should have got up and kept playing. If you receive treatment on such an injury, you must sit out for 2 minutes before the referee lets you back on. Peck did that. Vanny was quite upset, saying that Peck was fouled and he was clearly hit, but the referee deemed it not a serious injury, so he had to serve a 2-minute penalty. And then Winder has 10 seconds to exit as a sub. He did not exit in 10 seconds, and so Yamane had to wait an additional 2 minutes to be subbed on. It's just interesting. It doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
This is a new rule 2 years ago, I think.
So in terms of the rule, like take away the teams, I do like this because
I love these rules.
It does, one, it deters people from taking 45 seconds to a minute to get off the field.
Oh yeah, I love that.
When you're winning and you're subbing, and also as we've seen throughout the year, if you're all the way on one sideline and you have to go all the way to the other one, the referee just says, no, get out.
Yeah.
Just get out that way, get off the end
I
line.
think it's perfect. 10 seconds, get off the field, next guy goes on, and we play.
And then it also deters people from, that faking injury to waste time, things like that.
I love it.
The rules themselves are great to be put in. Now, I do think that Vanny has a little bit of a case because he does mention earlier in the presser that their two guys ran into each other and there wasn't one of these. But then when their guy allegedly fouls Peck, and number one, no foul called, that's referee's discretion. But then if you go look back at, when you go and see what happened, you're like, okay, there is something to be said there.
Vanny was not happy about it. Speaking of Vanny, let's take a look at the first quote we have for Vanny here, which is good because, again, people talk about Vanny ball all the time. I hear that thrown around like, what is Vanny style? This speaks to a little bit about what's happening in Greg Vanny's head and how he sees the game. This is in reference to how Ricky changes the attack for Paintsel. And he says, I was trying to find the balance between what I call space creators and space users, guys who run for the depth and guys who want the ball at their feet. At times, I felt like we had too many guys that are looking for the ball at their feet and not enough guys that are threatening the opposition. I think this is a great comment by Vanny because when I was at the first, during that run, that atrocious early season, like this is exactly what I saw. Too many guys wanting the ball at their feet, and we had no, we would always say like, oh, you're a dog with no bite, right? Like we just had possession for possession's sake. There's no one running in between lines. There's no one running in behind. I do like his space creators and space users. I think I might use that from now on. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So a little bit of Vanny ball there. I like that. He's just talking about you need to get the numbers right? You need certain people who want the ball at their feet, and you definitely need certain people who are trying to get in behind and trying to break lines. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was interesting.
The only issue I have with this quote is it's not news that Peck and Paintsel are both extremely fast.
Right.
So
But to that end, though, when you look at the beginning of the season, and I haven't taken a close look, but I bet you if you look at the beginning of the season, They are playing with their backs to goal in a possession-based system too often and not looking to get in behind often enough. I think you will find that's true, especially with Peck. Peck has a tendency to kind of like come back, come inside, kind of act like a midfielder at times, which is fine, but he also needs to threaten in behind and break lines, yes. and I don't think he was doing that very often. Again, I'd have to go back and look, but I think, again, who changes this? For me, Winder comes on, and he is a space user, right? Mm-hmm. He is trying to look to run in. And I think we were missing that. I think we were missing people trying to use the space, and we had too many people trying to like create the space with possession. And I think when Winder comes on, a lot changes.
Yeah, it does. It is nice because then you just let your two outside guys run, and then as a professional, it's really easy for them to make a decision. It's either I'm going to play him the ball, or hey, now I have all the space. Yeah. We're just going to kind of, but it's not just we have all the space and now we're going to try and use it. It's we have all the space now. I'm going to press and be the one that's going to make sure that we do something with it.
This is the same quote here, just a little bit further. He talks in between a little bit, but Greg Vanney quote, when he has to try to figure out, this is Paintsel now, when he has to try to figure out how to take a play that's kind of slow and in possession and turn it into attack, I feel that's not when he's at his best. Having a guy like Ricky who changes the tempo and the speed of the game will bring new life into Gabe and Joe, no question, because Ricky changes the speed of the game. And again, I like this. I like it only because there are times when you have a bad season, and I'm sure people think this, and as I have at times, what is Vanney doing? Does Vanney understand like what's happening? Is this Vanney's fault? But when he talks like this, it speaks to me because this is what I see too, right? I think Paintsel is not great with the ball at his feet, running at people, trying to like beat three defenders, cutting inside. It's just not his game.
No.
Right? He needs to be going at speed, running at one guy, isolated or getting in behind. And it sounds stupid and it sounds maybe elementary, but I'm glad that Vanney at least sees it the way I see it. It would concern me if Vanney was like, man, Paintsel really needs to embrace the number 10 role and create more opportunities. I'd be like, okay, Paintsel can't do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, it makes me feel a little bit better about where Greg Vanney's at, especially what he said last week or 2 weeks ago, where we went over the presser and he identified the goals and how they happened. Mm-hmm. And I think Vanney's seeing the game right. I just think the only thing you can question is then why is the team not? But again, to get to Vanney's credit, you can look at the 10-7-4 record over the last 21 matches against good competition, and maybe we've turned a corner.
As someone who multiple times, not only this year, but also last year, so I don't want it's for people to think that, oh, you're saying it because it was a bad year. I've thought this through many games. You look at some of the decisions made or coming out of halftime, going into play certain things, and you just look and you go, what is going on? Like, what are you thinking? What are you doing?
Do you get a sense that you're always like that? With any coach, do you question that?
Some more than others.
Yeah.
Some more than others, yes.
And of course, when you're not having a good run, you would question it, literally everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could blame absolutely everybody. But also, and then when they're talking about Paintsel, again, just let the guy run. It's really simple. Hey, get it so that he's one-on-one and you have one move. You get the ball, you kick it down into the corner, and you just run by the guy.
Yeah,
as elementary as that seems, you know who's going to catch him.
Like you said last week, though, without Pooj, you can pretty much, keep track of Peck and Paintsel a lot better. When Pooj is there, it's a lot harder to keep track of those two because he's garnering attention. His passing is so elite. Now the runs are elite. The passing's elite. You got 3 elite players all on the ball. It makes it a lot harder.
Absolutely.
I got a question for you, though. Looking at this quote and just talking about Vanney, there are people, on Reddit and on social media and such like Vanny out all year, right? Especially when it was going really bad. And then he signs a new contract and people get upset. We will find out, I think, next year, was it Vanny or not? Right? Do you agree or disagree? With Pooj back healthy, let's just assume a healthy Pooj, we will find out if it's Vanny or not.
We really will.
So if we do well, do all these people owe Vanny an apology? I think the cancel culture is would it have been would it have been fair? I'll put it this way. Would it have been fair to fire Vanny? Or is it unfair to judge Vanny on a season where he lost the talisman of the team and it was not replaced, and he lost his star forward, and he lost his midfield anchor?
Well, he lost all three of the midfielders that basically ran the team last year.
And
they
they
lost all three of them.
And they weren't replaced.
No.
I mean, they were replaced with an up-and-coming USL player, an untested Sanabria, right?
Yeah.
A younger player who was hurt all year, essentially.
Yeah, and a second-year Galaxy player that, while he did really well last year and cemented himself in that midfield, he was not there to start.
Right. So, and then Marco Royce, who, he's older. He's at the end of his career. He can't put all the work in. So is it unfair? Would it have been unfair to fire Vanny in looking at all those variables that are out of his control? He does not make those decisions.
No, he doesn't.
He has nothing to. He's obviously not at fault for Ricky Puig's injury. So would it have been unfair to fire him?
I think it would have been. I think unfair is a very good word. There's a very good comp.
Not unprecedented.
Not unprecedented.
But unfair.
No, but there's a very good comp, though, that happened in the NFL a few years ago when Tom Brady left the Patriots. Everyone's like, okay, well, now we're going to see. Is it really Bill Belichick is such a good coach, or is Tom Brady such a good player?
Okay.
So here you go. Now we're seeing this. Is Greg Vanny a really good coach, or is Ricky just, jump on my cape and let's go?
Okay, but I mean, even if you're a good coach, if you don't have a team, you can't compete.
And I'm with you with that. I'm just saying
I'm an Angels fan, so I know that for a fact.
Yes. Well, but it's going to be you can ask the question of, okay, who's really more important to this team? Because if it's just one of these things where you put Ricky on the field and you could have a plank of wood coach the team and you're going to win no matter what.
Well, I don't think that's true.
No, obviously, I know I'm over exaggerating to make a point.
I think in the middle of all this cancel culture stuff, if you're going to call for Greg Vanny's head, which, sure, whatever, not unprecedented to be fired in a run that he was in, right?
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, it would have been fine by me, but you're calling for him. If he has a good year next year, then you better be praising him. Right? That's two sides of the same coin. If you're going to call for people to be gone and say, in some cases, vile things about him, like, well, he must be the worst coach ever. He does, and then if he can turn it around because he's got a healthy Ricky, then you better be on this Reddit and stuff saying, wow, it might be one of the greatest coaches of all time. Well, he does have 2 MLS Cups with 2 different teams.
And yes,
that does not happen by accident.
No, that's something that you look at that and you go, okay, he is not a bad coach. But what I am going to say is there's going to be a lot of questions asked, also depending on what moves are made in the offseason.
So let's talk about moves, because they asked Vanny, if the roster is fairly ready for next year, and they make mention in the question of looking at Harbor, Miller, Winder, and Cuevas, these young players who did pretty well. What does the roster look like next year? Is it fairly ready? And Greg Vanny says, quote, potentially, there's work to do for sure, But when you see guys like Harbor emerging and Elijah emerging next year, I'll say we need to be good and we need to be deep. He kind of squirts around this answer a little bit, but he does say there's work to do for sure. That's encouraging because I don't want to go into next season with the same roster plus Ricky.
No.
I think we have holes to fill.
Yes.
Another thing that's concerning for me is in the question, they ask directly about or mention directly Harbor, Miller, Winder, and Cuevas. And Vanny mentions Harbor, Miller, and Winder in his response directly, but leaves Cuevas out. We don't know if it's on purpose or not, but I've speculated, and I think Galaxy might get rid of Cuevas. And him not mentioning Cuevas, but mentioning Harbor, Miller, and Elijah Winder, but not Cuevas when asked about him. We might be reading too much into it, but there it is. But there's work to do for sure, is quote what he says.
I like him saying that because he's not directly pointing fingers at, we need to get rid of this guy, we need to bring in this guy. Saying there's work to do for sure.
I would like him.
It's a very big.
It would have made me feel better if he would have said, "There's work to do on the defensive side of things." For
of course,
it would have made me feel better if he would have pointed to a position or
a
group that he needs to strengthen. And God, I hope he's thinking the defense.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have.
Well, speaking of the defense, I think the next Vanny quote.
Vanny on Yoshida.
There you go.
This is a pretty telling. This makes me feel good as well.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was honestly worried of where Vanny was on Yoshida. And Vanny says, when asked about Yoshida, quote, whenever he was healthy, we were relying on him at 37, and that's a lot for him. End quote. Thank you. I mean, I don't know if he could have got away. I mean, I guess he could have, right? He could have called Rindolph up much earlier.
Yeah.
There were times in the season, and last year there were times in the season, where we're playing a game, and I'm thinking, why is doesn't Yoshida need a break, right? Like you go Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday or something, right? You're playing a Saturday,
Yeah.
you're playing 3 games in 8 days. And you see Yoshida out there 90 minutes in all 3 games, and he's 37. And I'm thinking to myself, I get it because he's the best center back you got on the, one of the best 2 center backs you got on the roster. But does he not warrant a break? I mean, there were times where I was thinking, if Yoshida goes down and Garces is out for swaths of the season, how would it have been with Zonka and Rindolph? I don't think that would have went very well at all. I think he was relying on him way too much. I think he deserves rests. But at least he's recognizing that.
Yeah, and obviously you don't know how that Zonka signing is going to go when you make it. But then
right, yeah.
But then when you see how much Maya Yoshida played, like you said, say it is a 3 game in 8 day stretch. Well, you saw how the Zonka signing went, which was not well, and you go, yeah, I'd rather trot out the 37-year-old who's already played 180 minutes.
And I get that. I totally get that. But I also get the professional side of like, what if Yoshida's career is over because you're running a 37-year-old out there too much and he tears an ACL or something? Because let's be honest, there are times when Yoshida looks absolutely gassed. Like he's on his last legs. He is gassed. He's playing his 3rd game in 8 days, and he's just keeps going out,
Yeah.
But I do like, at least this speaks to me that Greg Vanny knows he has to find and strengthen the center back position. Right?
And
we have to.
And the pulling Rindolph up from Ventura and seeing that he can play at an MLS level is huge.
Whatever. That's fine. Rindolph is going to replace what's his name? Zavaleta. Zavaleta, okay. I don't think returns.
Okay.
Right? I don't know, but I don't think. So Rindolph becomes the Zavaleta, right? That third or fourth center back that can put in minutes when you need him to put in minutes on a Wednesday or an Open Cup game or some game that, you can't prioritize every game. But we need another center back.
Yes.
I don't care what we do this offseason.
That's got to be top of the shopping
you can sign
list.
people. If it's not a center back, I'm going to be like, great, but where's the center back? Well, we signed so-and-so. Great. Where's the center back? We signed a center mid. That's great. Where's my center back? We got our forward. Dayon's coming back. Great. Where's my center back? Like, we need a center back.
Yeah.
Badly. Okay. So I thought that was good. And then this is going back to Vanny on the start of the season, that terrible start. He says, quote, "But we felt that through stretches, we had some solid performances that we couldn't get anything out of. So we just tried to stay focused on that, the process, trying to improve, trying to work on some details."
If you ask me, or if he makes this quote, like what do we say after that 24th game of 2-15-7, or we're trying to stick to the process, find a new process, dude. It's not working.
I think so. This is where some of the Vanny criticism comes in, and I think warranted Vanny criticism. You start off, what is it?
2-15-7.
2-15-7. So you start off 2-15-7, right? And you come in and saying we're just trying to work on some details. I agree. Like, the details didn't give you that record. There's no way. Well, we're doing well, but we lack a couple details, and we're at this record. And I think a lot of criticism, and rightly so, because I was critical of him during this stage. Not so much in the record, because I understood we lost a lot, right? And even though I was hopeful that we were going to do well, I definitely understood all the outgoings and the injuries. It was going to be a tough start. But man, why didn't he change anything? It took him so long to change anything.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, he brings Harbor Miller up due to all the injuries at the beginning of the year. Harbor Miller does wonderful. And then he sends him back down. And you don't see Harbor Miller for months after that.
Yeah.
My concern with that is Harbor Miller must be going like, dude, what do I gotta do? I don't understand. You're gonna keep Zavaleta up there, who you will not give minutes to.
Yeah.
And I started and did well, and then you get to send me back. Now I'm very critical of some of those decisions in the early going.
Yeah.
You got Cuevas would not get time in this losing streak. Cuevas was not given, and to be fair, to be one of the when we kind of like were just climbing out of the trenches. Remember that? It was the game where we started a bunch of subs and we won.
And you won.
And we had all the subs, all the people you never get to see play. And we win a game, and it kind of starts building. Why were we not changing things during a monumentally terrible start? I don't know.
This is where
that's a question for Greg Vanny.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Greg Vanny, leave a comment on this.
We'll have him on. We'll have him on.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll have you on. And again, I do. Whatever.
It'll make you feel better, but it's also just going to bug you.
Just thinking back to this time, I was so frustrated, as I'm sure all Galaxy fans were, with what was happening. And I know, trust me, I know how difficult it is to coach.
Yeah.
And I cannot imagine coaching at the level he's coaching at and the pressure he's under. I can't even imagine it, because I felt like I was under pressure and there was 8 people in the stands. I mean, he's under pressure and there are so many people invested in this team.
Yeah.
So I get it. I always sympathize with coaches, but I do not understand that first batch of games. I would like someone to explain it to me. I don't know if you can.
I don't think we'll ever get one.
Okay, so we move on to Maya Yoshida here.
Mm-hmm.
Maya Yoshida gets asked, what does he get asked? He gets asked just about the season in general.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I'm going to read this as is. I don't know if this is like him speaking English and there's some translation problem or they mistyped, but I'm just going to read it as is. From Maya Yoshida, quote, "But the season's a big lesson for us, a huge lesson for myself as well. To be honest, my performance wasn't the same as last season. I wasn't satisfied with my level." End quote. Well, thank you, Maya. Again, it's not revolutionary, but I like that Yoshida at least realizes I didn't have a great season.
Yeah.
I hope Yoshida also realizes the odds of him having another great season at his age, 37, going on 38, is not great. That's not high probability.
No.
So we have Yoshida for one more year. Obviously a great leader. But we can't rely on him. I mean, even here he's kind of saying I wasn't reliable.
I don't know if I wouldn't know if he's saying that.
Okay, well, he's definitely saying I dipped
Yes.
in my performance.
And that's
And I
expected.
think you're going to expect another dip next year, right?
Yeah. Because it's not like he's gonna get faster.
No.
He's not gonna get
Watch him prove us wrong.
I would love
Hey, Maya, leave a comment down below and we'd love to have you on the show. Yeah. Okay. Maya, on next season, quote, "Generally, I'm very optimistic, but in this results, overall, I can't be. We shouldn't be. And we have to think how we can improve ourselves, how we can change." Later on, he says, "That's why we have to keep our fitness very well from the beginning of the season, not second part of the season. This is the target for next season. That's why we practice extra 3 weeks from now on." End quote. There's nothing here really except him saying we need to improve. Except, again, you can read a little bit into this. It seems like he's saying we were not fit at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, that second part looks like he said we weren't really ready for the beginning of the year.
That's why we have to keep our fitness very well from the beginning of the season, not second part of the season.
Yeah, I don't. You're a professional team coming into the brand new season. You would imagine that you are at the peak of your fitness.
On this, I don't even know where these happen. I don't know if the videos come out yet. I would love like a follow-up question, right? Like, yeah, Maya, over here. What do you mean it wasn't very well at the beginning? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Because that's concerning because the coaching staff's the same. And if their preparation wasn't bad, wasn't good, then that doesn't speak well about the coaching staff. Now, I will say, and they say in coaching, you don't learn much from winning seasons, right? Greg Vanney didn't learn anything from last year. He dominated. We dominated. He had one of the best players in the league. We win MLS Cup. Yay. Job done. But coaches really learn a lot about themselves in losing seasons.
Yeah.
So what did Greg Vanney learn? And I think that'd be a great question to ask Greg Vanney, right? You had a losing season. And as you reflect back on this season, like what did you learn? What changes are you going to make?
Mm-hmm.
I hope there's some. I hope it's not, business as usual when Pooch comes back. I hope maybe if it is a fitness issue, he says, we learned we have to focus on our fitness a little bit earlier in the season, and we're going to do that. It sounds like they are, because from what I've read and from this quote here, they're doing 3 extra weeks of training in the offseason this year.
Yeah, and if my memory serves, I don't have it right in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that the CONCACAF Champions League starts before the MLS season starts, I think. Because I know the draw has got to be coming up sometime in December, with games maybe starting in January or February. Possibly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they do start. You play 1 or 2 matches before the season starts. Yes.
So maybe that's maybe that's what Yoshida's talking about. So, the 3 weeks.
And we have who we playing in December?
Well, November 15th play.
November 15th.
Yeah, November 15th is a friendly against Club America.
Okay.
It has been announced that Ricky will not play in that game.
Has it been officially announced that Ricky will not play, or is it just Ricky responding?
No, I think it's been announced that
Oh, it
Ricky's
has been
not
announced.
playing.
Okay. Well, then I'm not buying tickets. I'm just kidding. I may be there.
If I will say though, if this Club America game is anything like the other one I went to, I don't want to go.
Yeah, they're kind of tough.
But we do have awards to give out.
We do have awards.
This is an award show.
So let's end with our awards here. And who are we? We're very important people. That's who we are. So who gets the Eric and Chris awards this year? I'm sure the players are watching with bated breath on who we're going to give our first 3 awards: our defensive MVP, offensive MVP, and team MVP. Chris, who is your defensive MVP for this year?
Mr. Garces is my defensive MVP. Multiple times bailed us out, taking 1 point away when we should have gotten maybe 0, or 3 points when we maybe should have gotten 1.
Was anyone else in the running for your defensive MVP?
No, not even close.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, Garces for sure.
Yeah. He's good.
He's good. He's definitely our best. You can tell when he's not there.
Yeah.
If Yoshida's not there, you could tell, but it's not the end of the world. You place Romani with Cuevas, it's like for like. Aude for Nelson, they're different players, but the standard's there. Garces is gone.
His playoff run in 2024 was absolutely unreal.
I thought he should have been MLS Cup MVP over Brugman.
Yeah,
but
I did too.
They went to Brugman anyways. Yeah, so definitely the thing about him too, which I love, is I think he could get better.
Yes,
he's young. He does a couple things kind of wrong, or we've talked about he kind of gets a little too emotional at times. He's a little bit too aggressive at times. He leaves his position at times.
Mm-hmm. But the upside is,
man, when we get that center back in summer, woo! Come on, Vanny, get the center back. All right, offensive MVP. Chris, who are you going with?
Offensive MVP, I'm going with the Golden Boot winner himself, Joseph Paintsel. I mean, that's really simple. When you're the top scorer of the team, you deserve the offensive MVP.
Did you think of anybody else for offensive MVP?
I did. It was between him and Peck because they both contributed, right? They both had their 15 goal contributions. Right. But I think with Paintsel, when he's on, it's very difficult to stop.
These are always tough awards because the way we did it and the way people usually do it is you gave Paintsel offensive MVP. So he's now out of team MVP. So you could easily make a case for Paintsel becoming team MVP.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go with your second choice for offensive MVP. I think if Royce was healthy all year, he could have been offensive MVP because he put a lot of assists in and stuff.
Yeah.
But I also went with Paintsel, Golden Boot winner. But I did struggle because I still think maybe he's team MVP. The only thing that keeps him off of team MVP for me, the reason why I didn't choose him as team MVP, is he doesn't have the quintessential leadership profile, right? He's not the guy rallying everyone together. And he does play good defense, he gets back, but he's not a two-way player that can
I wouldn't describe him as a two-way player.
Yeah. But I mean, he's not lazy. He gets back and he tries. But that's kind of what kept me off of team MVP for him. But I think you can make an argument that Joseph Paintsel is our team MVP as well. Okay, so we've alluded to it now. So you can't choose Garces, you can't choose Paintsel for your team MVP. So who did you choose for team MVP?
No, I chose Gabriel Peck for my personal team MVP. And again, you can argue with it all you want. This is my award show. These are my choices.
You can't take the Chris team MVP award for Peck.
No, but the reason I chose Peck as team MVP over offensive MVP is because at any point you don't know when it's coming. And he did this a lot more in 2024 than this year. But at any point you could go, man, he hasn't scored yet. Oh, when's it coming? Oh, when's it coming? Like, especially if you're, say you're on the other team and you're looking, you go, uh-oh, he hasn't scored yet. When's it?
Yeah.
Or his big opportunity hasn't come yet.
I mean, he's definitely a very good player. I did not choose him as my team MVP, mainly because I wasn't too happy with his conversion rate this year.
Okay.
So,
well, if he's not team MVP, which direction did you go?
I just went with my heart, man. I went with my favorite Galaxy player
at the moment.
Not of all time, but of my favorite Galaxy player right now because he plays with such heart, and that's Sorillo. He's always available.
Is a good choice.
And he does a lot of the dirty work. Don't discount that red card he just got. I mean, he hip checked the heck out of that fool.
With hockey season starting up, but he might be getting some calls from.
But I just think he was asked to do so much this year, and he wasn't always successful. But at least he attempted to do it. He runs his butt off, man, and he plays with such passion. And you can tell that he just plays hard and he plays for the badge. So he's definitely my favorite player at the moment. And so I went with Sorillo. Congratulations, Sorillo. Newcomer of the year and Iron Man. So newcomer of the year, best new player to come into the Galaxy. Who do we have? Who's up for? So we have Nascimento, Sanabria, Winder,
Harbor Miller,
Rindolph.
I mean, there are a few more, but
those are the guys in the running.
Yeah.
Okay. Who'd you go with?
I went with Elijah Winder because of how well he finished the season. He showed us a dynamic version of himself that he can be someone that going forward,
right? You
can look at and go, man, if you have him and a few, him in a certain position, him with a few other people around him, he could just elevate his game.
I think that's big, right? Because I think he comes from USL playing the 6th position, a deeper line midfielder, and he's shown now he can also play a little bit of that 10 position and get forward. That versatility is huge in trying to get minutes and get on the field and fit into systems.
He can go box to box. He can do the dirty work on defense. He can give key passes to put guys in. He can score goals.
I think he has huge upside, and that's why I also chose him for newcomer of the year. I mean, I could really see a breakout season for him next year. A lot like, a little bit, not a lot like, but I guess a little bit like Aude. Aude had a rough start, and kind of found his feet. And then the next year, Aude played really well. I could see Winder playing really, really well next year.
Yeah.
Who I wanted to choose, who I couldn't choose, was Sanabria, because I was kind of excited about him when we signed him. I was like, you read about him and it's like, this is going to be a guy, he's going to take Mark Delgado's spot, right? Like we lost Mark Delgado. Yeah. We're getting essentially what I thought at the time, a younger Mark Delgado, who's not as seasoned, but he's going to have that engine. And it just didn't pan out.
No.
I don't think Sanabria's a bad player, so I'm hoping he as well can get over some injuries issues and find his feet next year and give some solid minutes. But I was at the beginning of the year. If I would have predicted, I would have predicted him. All right, Iron Man, most minutes or consistent availability.
I went with John Nelson for my Iron Man of the Year award. And
was John Nelson hurt at all this year? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Maybe one game, but I don't even remember.
If that. But yeah, with his availability always, and ever since I saw him come on the field last season against San Jose, they played up at Stanford. It was at that game, and he came on, and I looked at the guy I was with, and I said, "This guy needs to play more minutes because he is just solid.
He's a solid player.
He does his job. He does it really well." And he plays his heart out.
It's tough too because playing that left back position and getting back and forward, and you're putting in some tackles too to be consistently available is impressive.
Yeah,
he's always available. His contract's up, I think. I got to imagine they're going to renew Nelson's contract.
Yeah, we'll get to the whole
Yeah.
Galaxy free agent stuff next
All right,
time.
so
but
my Iron Man
your Iron
was
Man-
Diego Fagundes. It's very similar to Nelson. I mean, he was just available every single game. And again, I think if you look at if Fagundes and or Nelson weren't as available as they were, I think it's a rougher season, man. I mean, those guys played minutes.
Yeah.
Tons and tons and tons of minutes. And Fagundes' position, I mean, he played outside mid, he played the 10, he played the 8, he played the 6. I mean, he played pretty much everything and did a lot. His contract's up. I don't see him staying, but because he's on a big contract, but he definitely played a lot of minutes and played pretty well in all those positions. He was asked, again, a lot like Cerrillo, he was asked to do a lot of things that he's not typically asked to do. And he filled in and did really well. So it's like Cerrillo. I got to go back to Cerrillo, man. Cerrillo has played center back for the Galaxy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a hard
done a lot.
to slot in at center back at the highest level because you don't have any center backs is crazy. Is crazy.
Well, hopefully next year at the start of the year, all the Galaxy players are like, man, I want to get on that board next year. Hopefully.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. They're definitely thinking that, right? They want to be on the Eric side. I don't know so much about the Chris side.
Okay. You know what?
No.
We'll figure this out. We'll have to figure this out later.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's all we got for today. Galaxy since it's over, but we're going to be here.
We are going to be
We're
here.
going to be back here next week
Yes,
talking
we are.
about Galaxy and whatever Galaxy news there is. If there's no Galaxy news, then we will make Galaxy news.
Yeah, we can.
I mean, we could talk about the history of the Galaxy, favorite memories of the Galaxy, and
could do
maybe
we
you
do
could
some
leave
deep dives.
leave some questions for us. Maybe you want us to talk about something. Maybe you have a favorite memory.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to agree with Eric or Chris on their choices.
Or disagree with me. I don't care.
Or disagree. So thanks for joining. As always, you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. And leave a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. And we'll see you next week.
See ya.